I am so excited to show you this recipe. I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the fish dish of the century.
It's a roast, but not as you know it. 2 sides of succulent salmon with a beautiful stuffing of artichoke and almond.
Get yourself a clean surface. We're going to use extra virgin olive oil and then have a little rub. Right, we don't want it to sort of stick. I'm going to season the surface with freshly ground black pepper and salt.
I'm going to tie the roast up later, so get prepped now with strips of string. Lay out the salmon and season it.
Then we're going to create like a stuffing, and we often associate stuffing with roast chicken, you know, stuffing legs of lamb and stuff like that, but we can do this with fish as well.
I'm getting the stuffing going with toasted almonds and stale ciabatta.
You do get a different flavour from stale bread, with more of a savouriness.
Lemon zest and garlic will add some punch. Then just blitz it up.
So this is, look, oh, the smell. Toasted almonds and garlic. Okay, so this is the beginning of the stuffing. Just put it along here like that. When that starts to bake, the fats from the fish will go in to the bread here. It's going to be amazing. Next up, we're going to celebrate artichokes. Here's the preserved artichokes. Everyone can get this. It's in all the supermarkets.
And if they're in season, you can double your artichoke hit by adding fresh ones.
And they're kind of easy to prep. Let me show you how to do it. Just peel back the outer leaves. And then you want to just trim off the end until the light part here. Trim off the base of the stalk. Now, one thing that's important is to use a bit of lemon. And just rub this over the artichoke because these will oxidize straight away. Within 1 minute, they'll go black. And that don't look so cool. So that is your artichoke. Let me show you the choke. Can you see it there like that? It's fluffy. It won't hurt you, but it's not that nice to eat, so we remove it.
It's worth the effort, I promise. What's left is truly delicious. Get them into a pan with a good splash of the artichoke oil from the jar.
Artichokes go in. Mint and artichokes are best friends. We'll just chop that up like that. Mint goes in. Oh, the smell is amazing. And that's all we need. We don't really need to cook that. We're just heating it through and softening it. And if I just kind of pinch it off like that, look at that. Oh, and that, my friends, is the stuffing with a difference.
Season the other side of the salmon and place it on top. And over that, smoked bacon. Its fat is going to melt down right over the salmon.
It's going to be beautiful.
Top it off with a bunch of fresh thyme. Then tie up your evenly spaced string and parcel this fish up.
Let's take this beautiful thing and get it into the tray at an angle. Gather up all your bits, put it over the top. And this is food that makes me happy. This I want you to try.
To give you the most amazing crispy skin, preheat your oven to full whack, and as soon as you put the fish in the oven, turn it right down to 180 degrees Celsius and cook for 35 to 40 minutes.
Come on! Look at that. What a picture, what an excitement. Can you imagine that at the weekend? I can't wait to show you what's happened on the inside. Oh, yes, you know it. Look how juicy that is.
Some simply boiled new potatoes and fresh baby spinach complement this perfectly.
Let's have a little try. It's really good. The perfume of the artichoke is so good. And the smoky bacon is insane. Everyone knows how to roast a chicken, but I've got a method that takes it up 3 notches. Are you interested? Let's do this, royal style. Let's talk about the shopping. Chicken. This is a 100-day-old chicken. You'll easily serve 6 to 8 people beautifully. Slightly smaller. This is a label on glaze. It's been corn-fed a little bit. You can see the colour. We've got a little poussin here, right? Corn-fed again. And then here, we've got an organic chicken, delicious. So the one I'm going to do is a nice little label on glaze. First up, finely chop some herbs. I've got some marjoram here, parsley, basil, season with salt and pepper. Add a nice couple of lugs of olive oil. Mix it up. The oil will help bring out all the natural flavors and oils from the herbs. And then we're gonna get our chicken. If you can get a dry plucked chicken, the skin is so crispy and it's delicious. What I wanna do is just run my knife around the top of the legs and score that skin like that, and then just pop that little ball joint. Take the end of the chicken leg off, and when it cooks and roasts, it just looks beautiful. Put the chicken on its side, and I want this thigh meat to cook at the same rate and speed as the breast meat. So I'm simply just going to do 3 confident slices down to the bone. And it also allows your flavoured oil to get in there. With the breast, right, I want you to be very, very careful. Here is the end of the skin. I want you to pull it towards you so you don't tear it. And just get your finger in between the skin and the breast. Make a little pouch, and then I'll use a little spatula to get right down there. Divide these herbs by half, and again, I don't want to tear that chicken skin. Wonderful, look at that. Just get 2 slices of butter, and I'll ram these down the chicken breast. So that's gonna make your chicken breast juicier than ever. It's gonna make that skin crispier than ever. There's one other trick that I've got. Lemon. Now, if I put a cold lemon in there, the hot air is not going to get in, and it's not going to be kind of cooking as even as I'd like it. So we've got a hot lemon that I'm going to just stab, and this is basically a boiling hot citrus time bomb. Now we are going to tie this bird up. Take a little bit of our butcher's string, get it in half, put it just under the legs like this, take it up to these little notches here, and I'm going to do a little knot. Tighten it up. Go in between the breast and the legs, turn it over, you do another little knot, and it's just gonna keep it in shape, and it means you get a nice, neat, even cook. With all the kind of remnants of the oil and the herbs, you rub that all over the chicken, and it's really a spectacular thing. Into a tray we go, a whole bulb of garlic, 2 onions, cut those in half. I'm gonna cook it at 225 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. It's gonna be spectacular. Look at that. You know it makes sense. Oh, so good. The string holds it all together, but you know that chicken's done when you can pull the meat off the bone and when the juices run nice and brown. And if you look in here, you can just take the skins off these bits of onion. You're gonna have the best gravy. I'll put this heat on, add just a heaped tablespoon of flour, just mush it all up. You don't even need stock. Just top it up with some water, bring that to the boil. This, of course, is the time where you let the chicken rest, you finish your gravy, and that's when you bring your salads or your greens or your potatoes all together. So let's sieve out all of those chunks. Mega flavour. Take a little ladle and push it through. Look at that. Bring it back up to the boil, and you're gonna have an amazing gravy. Let's look at our lovely chicken. See how crispy that skin is, how the herbs are trapped. Really, really nice. Let's have a little carve up. First up, run the knife around the back of the leg and just click it, and it will just fall apart. Cut it across like that, giving you that beautiful drumstick and that wonderful thigh meat. If there's any little juices that come out, don't be afraid just to pour those back into your gravy, because it's all flavour, juices galore. When it comes, of course, to the breast, let's just take a nice little chunk here. You can see the herbs underneath. You can see the gorgeous, crispy golden skin. You can see that the breast meat is juicy, juicy, juicy. That's what it's about, guys. The smell at this point from the lemon is phenomenal. It's fragranced the whole of this amazing chicken. This lovely gravy over the top of the chicken like this. Wonderful. So that, my friends, is a classic roast chicken to savour and enjoy. The gravy is amazing, the skin is crispy, the herbs, and that juicy, juicy meat. Enjoy, happy roasting, take care. Hi guys, hope you're well. We're gonna make roast beef. People love it, and I love it. It's a wonderful treat. I'm gonna show you how to prepare this, do the trivet, we're gonna cook it, we're gonna rest it, and we're gonna carve it, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. I've got 3 cuts of beef here that are very, very common. I've got the top side of beef, that's the most affordable, and it's leaner. We've got the sirloin of beef here. Now, you know the sirloin steak, but this is a chunk to roast. It's easy to carve, quicker to cook, and it's always tender. And then roast 4 rib of beef. It will easily serve 10 people, and the leftovers of all of this is amazing. So the preparation is the same for all 3 cuts. Top side of beef I'm gonna do. And what's really important is get your meat out of the fridge 1 hour before you wanna cook it. And that way it will stay juicier and more tender. Give it a little drizzle with some olive oil. Give it a nice little rub up. And then I wanna season it quite generously with salt and pepper. Rub it over and just roll the meat all over the seasoning. Put a little oil into a tray. Let's get that on a high heat. And first of all, I just want to get some colour on this beef and start to sear it. Now what you'll notice is the top side is very lean. But if we look at the sirloin and the forerib, I wouldn't have to add oil to that. I would score the fat like this, and I will place it fat side down in a pan and render the beef fat. Once you feel you've got a little bit of colour, get some tongs and turn it over. Now while this is browning off, I want to make a trivet. Just clank up some celery, about half a celery, 1 onion, a whole bulb of garlic, and then 2 carrots, just cut into big chunks. And then herb-wise, I love using a few bay leaves and some rosemary. All of this goes in. Now this trivet is going to do 2 things. First of all, it soaks up all the juices from the beef and it creates the basis for the most incredible gravy or jus to go with your roast beef. Secondly, you can see you put the beef on top, so that way it's not frying on the bottom of the tray. This top side of beef is going to go straight into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for an hour and a quarter. So for all the cooking times for the beef or any other cut of meat, then just click over to jamieoliver.com and I've got a whole load of stuff that will support you get it absolutely right every single time. So look at that, really beautiful. Let it rest for half an hour. If it's an even bigger cut of meat, let it go 40 minutes, 45 minutes. When you're roasting meats or even grilling meats, you know, that heat is pushing the moisture into the middle, right? So you need to let it rest just so the moisture comes back, right? So it's juicier and more tender. And it just lets it get to a better temperature. Have a look in this tray. All of this love is going to be the basis of your gravy. Put it onto a high heat, add some flour. A heaped tablespoon will go in, so we get a nice thick gravy. Then just squeeze all the beautiful garlic out of the skins. I can mush up the onions. I'm going to use a little red wine, just a little half glass. Goes in, roast beef, red wine. It makes sense, right? The smell is absolutely amazing. The little secret ingredient that I love is just some beautiful jam. That little sweetness really helps the gravy sing really, really nicely. About a litre of stock goes in. Bring this to the boil and then simmer this for about half an hour, the same time you rest the meat, and it's going to be delicious. In the half an hour that it's taken for the beef to rest, lots of beautiful things happen. If you see in our little platter here, you get juices that come out. You put those juices into your gravy. Pour that gravy through a coarse sieve. Look how gorgeous and thick and wonderful that gravy is. One little tip on the gravy, if you just pull it to the side of the gas hob, as it boils, it will push any kind of fatty bits or any scummy bits to one side, and you can get rid of that. And we've got lovely boiling gravy. Then let's talk about the meat. Now, when it comes to the carving, you know, with a sirloin or a forerib, it's very, very tender. You know, with a top side, it will be tender, but it is a little bit leaner, so we want to go nice and fine. You need to invest in a nice, long carving knife. So get the carving knife and do nice, long strokes. Go as thin as you can. So you can see this beef is nice, juicy, and blushing. If you cook it 15 minutes less, you can go medium rare. This is medium. Look at that. What a joy. Absolutely beautiful. And of course, no roast is finished without roast potatoes and Yorkshire puddings. This is the kind of food that just makes you so happy. I've got some horseradish sauce, which is one of my favourites. Beautiful. And then hot gravy, gorgeous, dark, rich gravy. So good. It's not right unless you fill up the Yorkshire pudding with gravy. Come on. So look at that, guys. The most incredible roast beef with all the trimmings. If you want the recipes for the Yorkshire puddings, the perfect roast potato, the horseradish, then go to jamieoliver.com where the recipes are and thousands more. There you go, guys. Fill your boots and get cooking. I really, really like roast lamb. I mean, I like roast anything, but I love roast lamb. And I do it quite often. I love it just with like mulled and sea salt over and roasted in the oven. That's lovely. But I kind of get bored of doing the same thing all the time. So I'm always trying to have like new ways of getting sort of flavour right stuck in there. So first things first, what I want to do is get a knife and stick the knife down next to the bone at one end and just push your finger in there, right? Because that just makes a bit of room. And then at this end, do the same again, right next to the bone, stick your finger in there. Then in about sort of 8 places around the lamb, you want to get your knife about 1.5 inches, okay, and stick it in at an angle, okay, and then shove your hand in there, your finger in there. And just do that kind of randomly, but kind of equally. Let's do it on the other side as well. Lovely, so that's that done. Put that in the tray. Now we're talking about flavour, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I've got this sage here. I'm going to rip off just half of it, so it's just the leaves, and I'm going to keep that for later. And then this half, I'm going to put in the pestle and mortar with a clove of garlic.
It seems a very simple thing to do. If you've got kind of chefs coming around, I'd expect you to do something incredibly posh and fussy, I suppose.
Yeah, it's almost in their own time, they want to kind of be a little bit more sort of relaxed about it, do you know what I mean? So I know as long as I give them a really nice cooked piece of lamb, you know, they're going to be well chuffed on a glass of wine. They're going to be over the moon. So with this sage, salt and garlic, just smash it up. And that'll kind of get all the flavours really going. Yeah. Right, lovely. And leave the rest of the sage that you got left over whole. And then we're going to have some olive oil, about, 2-3 tablespoons, just to sort of, the oil will help the oils and the flavour and the leaves to come out. And some lemon juice, give it a little bit of that. Squeeze that in there. So you've got your lemon juice in there. And just roughly chop up this rosemary that I've got with it. Just mush it up in your hands. The first thing we're going to do is get a big handful, rub it all over the meat. The skin's going to be tasty, lovely jubbly. In these cuts that we've made, kind of push all these lovely herbs, all the garlicky, lemony stuff. Get it right in these holes, push it right down. And there's a little bit of salt in there as well, so you're seasoning it inside a little bit, which is great. And down the little holes that you've made. And that end up here, next to the bone, which has gone down about 4 inches, it's right in there. Loads of flavour. Really get stuck in there. I say like David Bellamy, in the undergrowth, just shove it all in there, Now the secret ingredient, which I think is a thing called pancetta. And basically, it's the Italian version of our streaky bacon. And all you need really is about 3 or 4 slices, thin old slices, and just shove it down the gaps,
Where'd you get it from?
You can get it from the deli, you can get it from the supermarkets in packs now. I mean, it's all over the place. But it's got a slight smokiness to it, and that's really, really nice. Get in there. Lovely. So now we've done that, I'm just going to put a bit of salt on top. So it's nice to have a nice salty skin. And basically, that's it done. I know it's going to be really, really tasty. All we have to do now is take care of it in the cooking. So into a really, really hot oven, about 250, full whack. I'm going to get the leg of lamb, I'm going to put it straight onto the bars, right? And put the empty tin underneath to catch all the goodness and all the drips and all that kind of marmitey, lovely jubbly stuff.
How long do you cook the lamb for?
Well, I really like to cook the lamb so it's kind of pink, not bloody pink, but kind of pink. And to do that, I cook it for about 13 minutes per pound, and with an additional 20 minutes of cooking at the end of that. And then what the trick is then is to rest it. Beautiful roast crispy skinned potatoes, cut in such a way that they all open up, fan up, and you can flavour them in the most beautiful way. I've done this for my new cookbook, Jamie's Christmas, and you can make this any time of the year. It's really a principle. It's not just potatoes, guys. Parsnips, carrots. Today, I am brave enough to have 2 helpers. My little boy buddy. Okay, and this is Petal. Say hello.
Hello.
Have you ever heard the word Hasselback? No, didn't think so. So I am going to get 2 of my beautiful spoons. I'm going to lay them down. I'm going to place the potato in between the gap to stop the knife going all the way through. So I'm going to make little slices every ½ centimetre, all the way down to the little spoon. And this means that you don't slip. It's really got a perfect effect. Come and have a little look here. So you can see what we've done here is create kind of like a crazy little open texture. Now the great thing about that is it makes more surface area, which means it's more crispy, and I can put flavoured oils in there. What do you think of that, kids? Impressed? I am using a Maris Piper potato because it's really great for roasting, fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside, and that's exactly what you want in a roast potato or a Hasselback. I'm going to put the potatoes into the tray, and these lovely kids are going to show you how to make a flavoured oil. So, guys, do you know what herb this is?
Thyme.
Good lad. So I'm going to put a pinch of salt in here to create not just seasoning for this, but an abrasive kind of environment. And then I'm going to give this to Petal.
Hello.
So Petal, if you can bash the living daylights out of that. Create a mush for Daddy. And that immediately it sort of breaks down the herb itself, releases the oils, the flavour, and it's going to give you incredible smell. So once you've got a mush, then we can add our fat. That could be butter, turkey drippings, or olive oil. So if you can just muddle that slowly around in circles. I'm going to add some oil to this, and this is going to transmit all those amazing flavours. So what we want to do now is make sure all the cut sides are facing up. Then we're going to pour this amazing oil. Look at the colour, guys, look at the colour. And we'll just give it a toss. And of course, they're absorbing and taking on all of that beautiful flavour. And I'm going to put the cut side facing up. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. They're going to make a really good potato, but I want to add to it. We're going to take some leftover bread, brown or white. Do you know what nuts these are? I bet you don't.
Hazelnuts.
Yeah, it is hazelnuts. Hazelnuts is the nut of choice, but you could use almonds. Take some more of the thyme. I'm going to pop these in the oven. What you've got is really, really crispy bread now, and you can see how the skins on the hazelnuts have just kind of come off and they've toasted. Basically, we've created flavour and texture, okay? There's a nice little tip to come. These potatoes here have had 45 odd minutes, and I'm going to use a little brush, thyme, olive oil, Hasselback potatoes. Now, my little helper, can you take this tray, it's not hot, and just pour it in here? Are you tall enough to get in there? It's quite a big ask. Let's help you. And then we're going to put some cheese in there. So just a few little knobs of cheese. So if I close this, can you turn the button, please? You can have them chunky or you can have them quite fine. And then sprinkle this on top. I'm going to put this back in the oven now, about 15 more minutes, until gnarly and crispy and golden and sizzling and delicious. Look at that. A great Hasselback potato, but it's not just potatoes, guys. Parsnips, carrots, absolutely beautiful. So have fun with it. Let's plate these sexy fellows up. Unbelievable, joyful. This is what you're getting, guys. Super crispy, and then on the inside, super soft, super fluffy, and of course it's absorbed all those beautiful fats and flavour from the thyme. Delicious. Have a go at those. If you've got any ways of doing it that you think are really interesting, put it in the comments box below. There were supposed to be little people to try them. Let's see what happens. You can rip them apart if you want. Can I take these back for the crew?
Yeah.
Cool.
No. Can I just have one more? No, one more.
Lovely people, we are going to celebrate the creation of the perfect roast potato. It's not just a potato, this is the perfect roast potato. And if you think I'm going mad, it's because I'm mad for roast potatoes. Crispy outside and fluffy inside. We're going to do it 3 ways. Goose fat potatoes, butter, clementine, rosemary, garlic, and extra virgin olive oil. The Maris Piper is an incredible potato. Fluffy and starchy. The peeling of the potatoes, you don't need to see that. I've got them parboiling in here in salted boiling water. They're kind of that size. Cook them for about 10 minutes. The best roast potatoes I've ever made have come from a time when I almost felt I'd overcooked them and created mashed potato, okay? So you need to tread that line very, very, very carefully. So I can see they're just kind of thinking about breaking up. Pour it into the colander. This steaming part here now is also incredibly important. It's starting to get starchy, see it go kind of fluffy and white, and little kind of flecks and flakes of broken bits of potato. These are the things that are going to give you crispy bits, and we love crispy bits, and a crispy outside, okay? Really, really important. In tray number 1, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. 3 tablespoons, lower in saturated fats, so we love that. We're going to move on. Butter and olive oil. Half as much, and then a nice knob of butter. Butter's going to give you incredible flavour and a sort of lovely sweetness, but also a strong contender for gorgeousness is goose fat. You can get it in all the supermarkets, 3 or 4 tablespoons in there. You're going to get a richer flavour. It could be pork fat, it could be beef tallow. I love all of them, but I generally sway for the butter and the olive oil. But at Christmas, I kind of go for the goose fat because it's so good. A little secret ingredient that I do, a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. It will disappear, and what's left is a really subtle kind of tang. It just helps make the perfect roast potato. Then herbs. So let's go to the olive oil here. Get in some lovely rosemary. Put it under a hot tap. If you put it under a hot tap, it just wakes up the natural oils in the rosemary. Okay, so rosemary goes in, and of course, best friends with garlic. Leave the skin on. The skin will protect the garlic, and it will release the garlicness very gently. The whole bulb of garlic. Trust me, guys. Then we're going to go to the olive oil and butter. Sage is a classic, beautiful, beautiful fragrant herb. That goes in. And then we've got clementine. You could use any citrus fruit, but at Christmas, clementine's particularly good. Just the zest. Lovely. That will make a difference. It's going to be really, really good. Last but not least, goose fat. Just go brave on bay leaves. Dried ones are okay, fresh, amazing. 4, 5, 6, and then go in with some thyme. We're going to hit these up with some salt and pepper, olive oil, rosemary, garlic, clementine, butter, olive oil and sage, and bay, thyme and goose fat. Delicious. Now back over here. While these little bad boys are steaming hot, right, we need to chuff them up. Scratching and scraping the edge. Chuffing, right? I've made it up, okay? Look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing. Woohoo! You see how I've beaten that up, right? So that's good. So we're gonna go in. While they're hot, just mix up all of these. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna cook these in an oven about 180, 190, which is about 350 Fahrenheit. Over the period of about 50 minutes, maybe an hour, they're gonna get gorgeous and golden and crispy. But after about 40 minutes, I wanna show you the last little tip to make these incredible. Take the tray out of the oven after 40 minutes, place the potato masher on top, and then just let it pop. And let the lovely starchy inside just puff out, and then create a flatter surface area on the bottom and the top. Just do that around the whole tray, and then pop it back in for another 10 minutes. You can hear the sizzle. Have a little shake up. You can see and you can hear there is crispy perfection in the house. Goose fat potatoes, the butter potatoes with the clementine. The smell in this room is off the chart. And last but not least, the rosemary, garlic, and extra virgin olive oil. Crispy, fluffy, perfect, tangy, little gorgeous roast potato. Right, roasted vegetables. Roasted vegetables are fantastic, absolutely amazing. The theory is pretty simple. Parboil your veg, salt and pepper, yes, a little bit of olive oil, bit of herbage, and then vinegar or acid is really important, I think, in roasting veg. No one does it. I think it makes it. What I'm going to do is, in the bowl, I flick in my salt and pepper, rip up some whole sage leaves, maybe tear up and muller up. We've got the nice white wine vinegar, right, a good old lashing of that. We've got some olive oil, just enough to coat the carrots, and then we've got a lovely carrots, and then we've got Mr. Garlic. So look in there, right? We've got everything going, right? Start tossing it up. I've got my roasting tray here. I'll put a bit of olive oil just to get them all going in there. And you can just lay them like that, and there you go. There's that carrot story. We start again. So we go salt and pepper, orange this time, and then we got thyme, and then you got your purple carrots, olive oil. We can put these here, and they shouldn't affect each other too much with the old flavour. You know, the juices might sort of go here and there, but that's not the end of the world. Salt and pepper, marjoram, oregano. Let's go the lighter beetroots. Red wine vinegar, nice. Olive oil. Let's have the rest of that garlic. Make my life easier and just cut the old fella up. So garlic, herb vinegar, salt, pepper, marjoram, that's going to be joy, absolute joy to eat. So we take that and put that there. Finish with the purple beets, salt and pepper, rosemary, take off whole leaves, balsamic vinegar, tiny bit of olive oil, and mix that up in your hand. And I'm just going to put that at the end here. That is exciting. All I have to do now is pop it in a roasting hot oven, about 220 for about 20 minutes, half an hour, or until lovely and golden and sizzling and lovely. So just keep your eye on them. Look at that. That is roast veg. So if you have gone to the trouble of growing your own beets, carrots, veggies, you know, this is a lovely way to sort of send them off in a good way, you know, bit of respect, bravery, simplicity. Look at that, full of life. And that's what cooking should be about, isn't it? Being full of life.